A Plaguelands Media production.
Hey everyone, this is Hugh from Plaguelands Media bringing you another book review today, so cheers. Now today we are finishing off a trilogy of books. I have already read and reviewed the first two, so this is the Druid Queen. The Druid Queen, Book 3 in the Druidhome Trilogy by Douglas Niles. You can see the fantastic Clyde Caldwell cover there, where we have, I believe that is Robin and the Wizard Keen just down here. Now, as far as early Dungeons and Dragons books go, and this was written in 1993, it's okay. I mean, I did enjoy it, don't get me wrong. There was a lot of things in here that were pretty cool. Things that if I were running a campaign, I would kind of try to incorporate. But ultimately, the entire trilogy fell a little bit flat for me. Now, as you have, if you've watched, I should say, the earlier videos where I review the first Moonshade trilogy, Darkwalker on Moonshade, Black Wizards, and Darkwell, you will know my feelings on the trilogy itself, but also my background with it. It was one of the first Forgotten Realms books that I kind of got into with Darkwell. It was one of the first actual source books I ever got was the Moonshade source book for 2nd edition Dungeons and Dragons. I have a fondness for this area of the Forgotten Realms. With that said, there are a lot better Forgotten Realms novels out there. That is not to say that this one was bad or that this trilogy was bad. It wasn't. It was fun, but it might not be for everyone. Now, the reason I say that is because the main antagonist in this is the race of giants known as the Furbolgs, who are kind of, back in the day, they were misshapen giants. They were the giant kin who didn't exactly look like giant kin. In 5th edition, however, thanks to Volo's, Volo's Guide to Monsters, they are now a playable race. So, those of you that are familiar with 5th edition over the early D&D stuff, this might not sit well with you. The fact of the matter is, being able to play as a Furbolg doesn't sit well with me because I kind of grew up on Furbolgs being like those evil, misshapen giant kin. So there is that aspect to it. Now, this book, finishing off the trilogy, has the same villain, the god Talos, who is paired up with the god Helm, who is ostensibly a good, a god of good, but in this, he's kind of a dick. And then you have Giantkin and the whole lot, and it kind of follows directly on from the Coral Kingdom, which if you don't know that story, go and watch the video. It's all in there. So, there's going to be spoilers in this review. Characters come back. Characters that we all know and love. And I will let you know how the entire trilogy ends. So if you don't want to know that, then stop the video. Go and watch another one of the Plaguelands Media videos. They're all fucking awesome. But if you want to know how the trilogy ends, stick around for the next episode of...
Read a fucking book. Read a fucking book. Read a fucking book. People.
Okay. So if you remember, at the end of the Coral Kingdom, Robin and Tristan's youngest daughter, Deirdre, had all the shards of the mirror fly into her. So she's still not really well in this. And Tristan, who lost his left hand in the Coral Kingdom, has sent off Keen to travel to the Sword Coast in order to find the priest of Shantia, who can restore his hand back to its normal state. So Keen does that. He goes over there and witnesses the high priest of Shantia being killed in an unnatural earthquake. So he goes to the Temple of Helm and basically asks the Grand Inquisitor, the High Inquisitor of Helm, to come and help. And the Inquisitor agrees, and they fly back on this flaming chariot to the Moonshade Isles in order to help restore his hand. At the same time, this army of giantkin, the furbolgs and the trolls, have attacked this town because this town has this thing called the silver haft axe, something like that, and they managed to recover it. It is the axe that the giants believe their demigod, who is trapped in this ice mountain. It's the axe that can free him from the ice mountain. Grom Peak Smasher, I believe the giant's name is. So they go on this quest to free him. So the giants are going through the Moonshade Isles, decimating everything. The High Inquisitor tries to heal Tristan's hand, but fails, and says it's because the goddess, the Earth Mother of the Moonshade Isles, is blocking it, and you need to go on a quest in order to get this power. So Tristan decides to go after this army of giants. At the same time, their daughter Deirdre is having these vicious nightmares, which soon stop when she realizes how powerful she actually is. She is a pawn for Talos. The mirror that went into her at the end of the last book is kind of his power, so she is now an avatar of Talos. Tristan follows the giant army. His wife Robin realizes something's up here, sends her daughter Alicia and Keen to follow, Keen being the wizard tutor. And at the same time, the dwarves, led by Fenelon, who was in Darkwater and Moonshade and subsequent books. Just trying to get the glare off the book cover. Fenelon meets up with Hanrold and Bridget, who are the knights from the Coral Kingdom, and they pursue the army as well. So this whole story, there is really nothing to tell here. Oh, come on. No. Let me see. Okay, you're going to be good? There we go. There's really kind of nothing to tell here. This whole thing is this pursuit that Tristan goes on. Tristan realizes he's been manipulated. Keen and Alicia realize that the Grand Inquisitor of Helm has been manipulating them as well. They get to Oram Isle. The Furbolgs have gotten there and unleashed Grom Peak Smasher. And then it just becomes this battle between the good guys and Talos with the help of Helm, which is really weird. Helm helping Talos, like God, good God helping an evil God. That didn't sit well with me in the reading of this, but it is what it is. So they have this battle, and we find out that the giant kin, the furbolgs and the trolls, there's this division between them. One of the trolls, the leader of them, has been cutting off his own fingers, and the fingers are growing into more trolls, and then he cuts off more fingers, and the fingers grow to more trolls, because trolls regenerate unless you burn them. So that whole thing kind of comes to pass, and it becomes a battle between avatars, namely Deirdre, who is the avatar of Talos, and her mother Robin, who is the avatar of the Earth Mother. And it comes down to Deirdre being slain by her own sister because she's too far gone by this point. There's no redemption at all in this. And Robin realizes as a druid that she has neglected her druidic ways. So at the end of the novel, she decides to go and live in Murloc Vale, which, if you don't know what that is, go watch the other fucking videos. And Tristan, realizing that his destiny lies with Robin, so he basically gives up his throne for Alicia, his eldest daughter, who has chosen, I believe, Keen, because there was this love triangle between Keen, Brandon, and her. Again, go watch the other fucking videos. So that is pretty much the Druid Queen in a nutshell. It was a fun book. Not the best early D&D book that I've read, but it was fun nonetheless. And that's what you fucking want out of these kind of books. These are the books that I read on the train when I'm going to work. I can't pull out a novel because it's too crowded. You just get your phone, whip open Kindle. These are the books that I like to read. This was one of those. This was a train book. It was fun. I enjoyed it. I liked the culmination of the characters. I mean, their daughter Deirdre from the first book in this trilogy was a fucking bitch. So the fact that she died in this one, I'm like, hey, I'm all for it. It's cool. Yeah, so not much else to say. Just trying to get the glare out for all of you Plague Lanterns out there. That's the Druid Queen, Book 3 of the Druidhome Trilogy. Now, there are a lot of these early Dungeons & Dragons books that I have purchased on Kindle that I will read and review for all of you. But it's going to take me some time because life stuff. So if you have any requests, leave them down in the comments below. I'll see if I can get to them. Any trilogies, any books, whatever you fucking want me to read, let me know and I'll try and get to it just for you, you little Plaguelandian motherfuckers. With that said, like, subscribe, leave a comment, drink some Korean beer, please. But most importantly, stay safe. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And of course, read a fucking book, people.